Welcome to Pahlish with Ray. I'm Rachel, and today I'm going to be sharing with you my favorite manicures from 2023. Before we get started, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up if you're excited to see what my absolute favorites from this year were, and if you're not already subscribed, make sure you do so you don't miss out on future uploads. So first of all, how is it the end of 2023? Like, where did this year go? I feel like I say that every year, but seriously, this year was like the fastest one yet. It's all a blur. Fortunately, I had some incredible manicures this year, and I actually didn't have that hard of a time picking out my favorites. There were some serious standouts, and I'm really excited to take a look at them with you today. I usually do favorite polishes of the year, but this year I had a lot of fun with Skittles and combos. I wore a lot of toppers in 2023. So we aren't gonna do favorite polishes, we're gonna do favorite manicures, which means we're probably doing closer to like 30 or 40 polishes altogether, but who's counting? If this is your first time checking out one of these yearly wrap-up videos, this is part of a very big YouTube collaboration. A lot of amazing nail polish enthusiasts get together at the end of every year and put out a video at the same time with like their end of year wrap-up, what their favorite polishes or manicures were from the year. So I will link all of the participants down in the description box so you can just have a great time checking out everyone's videos and getting super inspired for the new year. And if you haven't seen one of these videos from me before, we are going to take a look at my swatch photos from when I wore each manicure so you can see all of the beauty that I am talking about. Also important to note that I am not going in any specific order. There is no way I could do like a countdown. There were just too many beautiful polishes worn this year. I love them all the same. So we're gonna start off with Nailed It. I love Nailed It, as you know, and I wore a lot of them this year, but there were some standouts. The first one is called Sing, and Sing is a beautiful, light, soft, muted, purpley pink base with this incredible glowy shimmer that shifts blue to purple to pink, and it's got hollow flakes. I wore this almost exactly a year ago. It was in the winter time, and I pretty much put it on as soon as it came in the mail. I could not wait to wear it. The glow that this polish had, that blue to purple shift in the winter time, was amazing, and the soft muted pink. My nails were also super long at this time, so I did not get like fully opaque coverage, but it's just such a beautiful polish. I honestly did not care. The shifts were just incredible, and those little flakies created this like diamond like sparkle on the nails. I absolutely love this one, and I could see myself wearing it again, of course, on its own, but maybe layering it over like a light pink sometime too. I think that would be really pretty. Another one from Nailed It that I wore and loved this month is called Strawberried Treasure. This one is like a really unique base color. Sometimes it looks red, sometimes it looks orange, sometimes it looks like a corally pink. It is so transformative, and then the flakes are plentiful. There's tons of flakes that mostly shift gold to copper to green to blue, but I also see purple at extreme angles. So this polish released in the initial Taste the Rainbow collection. Please, 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 Tia, if you're watching this, bring that whole collection back. I know you've already done it once. I know, and I know I skipped out on them again, some of them. I shouldn't have. Please bring it back. I love this collection. The initial Taste the Rainbow collection is probably my biggest lemming as far as collections go. It's the only collection that comes to mind that I'm like, man, I should have gotten that entire collection. It was so beautiful. Just all of the flakes are incredible. They always are with Nailed It, but something about this collection especially, they were just perfect. And this one was so glowy and bright and beautiful, and like I said, the base color just looks so different depending on the lighting. Had beautiful opaque coverage in 2 to 3 coats. I think I did 3 because I wanted all the squishiness. And then the last Nailed It that I loved so much in 2023, it's definitely a top pick, also comes from the Taste the Rainbow collection. I told y'all I love that collection. And this one's called Blueberry-licious. This one has a beautiful bright sky aqua, probably more of a sky blue base with flakes that shift gold to copper to green to blue and purple at extreme angles. This polish was so beautiful. The squishiness. Oh my gosh, these flakes and their squishiness. I can't. They just layer up really well and create the most incredible pond effect. I said in one of my recent videos, but with polishes like these, I just feel like I could press my finger into them and like it would squish like Jello. Like they look like Jello. Or like, you know, when Jello has like the fruit in it, I don't like that, but I like the look on my nails. It just looks really dimensional. I think that's what I'm trying to say. So this polish, the color was beautiful. The flakes were incredibly shifty, and it made my day to wear this polish. I loved wearing it. Why didn't I grab this whole collection? I don't know. I don't know. I had one polish for days make it onto this list. It is Memo To Me. This one has a kind of greeny blue jelly base, actually curly base, I guess, with glowing blue to purple to green shifting iridescent flakes and black microflakes. So I kind of grabbed this on a whim. I don't remember what it was that I wanted from the Polish for Days site, but I saw this on there, decided to get it a couple years ago when it, like a few months after it had released, and I don't know, just something about it intrigued me. Well, I finally got it on my nails this summer, and I can't believe it took me so long to wear it. The flakes in here glow so beautifully. Like, oh my gosh. It kind of is the same situation with the Nailed It, where it just created the most incredible dimensional effect where you felt like you could see, you know, it was truly a pond manicure. You could see all the layers and the different levels of flakies, and it built up to full opacity, and it was just shifty and fabulous. Like, especially when you're in indirect lower lighting, like there's light, but then I don't know. There may be light in the hallway and then you're in a room that's a little bit darker. When you see these flakies glow in that kind of lighting, it is jaw-dropping. Yeah, Polish for Days flakies have a hold on me. I don't have as many of them as I want, and I have like probably 15 or 20. They're just incredibly beautiful. They've never let me down, and this polish was no different. Such a pretty manicure. I also put just one of the Bee's Knees lacquer line with the Thorn in Its Paw siblings in this favorites, but honestly I wore like 5 or 6. I could have put any of them in here, but this one was definitely my favorite. It's called I Want to Peel You Like a Potato, and it has like a dark blackened teal base. It's a very blue leading teal with shimmer that looks most of the time red to copper, but it also shifts to gold and green, and it is loaded with hollow flakes. This finish is my kryptonite, and this particular shade of blue I found to be extremely flattering on me. I feel like we saw actually a lot. Yeah, this is 3 in a row of this kind of tealy kind of blue polish in my favorites this year. I really gravitated towards teal-y blues or turquoisey colors. I also really like the pinks, shocker I know, and the reds, shocking. But this color in past years has not been one of my favorites, but it was this year. I just thought this base color combined with the shiftiness in the flakes was so unique to my collection, and I love this finish. The hollow flakes, there are just so many of them. It sparkles no matter what kind of lighting you're in. I'm afraid the ship has kind of sailed with Bee's Knees lacquer and this finish. I don't know if the maker's planning to make more, but I hope she does because I will buy them. I love this finish. The next individual polish I loved comes from Bluebird Lacquer, and it's called Rock of Sages. This one is, despite the name, an incredibly saturated, rich, like almost emeraldy green. It's got a subtle blue to green shifting shimmer, and it's loaded with that gorgeous shattered hollow pigment. This is another one of those polishes. I wore a lot of these this year. I could have put any of them on this favorites list, but this one was a standout for sure. As soon as I wore it, I've set it aside so I would not forget to include it in this video. That was back in like March. Something about how vibrant this shade is, it just glows on the nails. The shimmer is like on the subtle side, but yeah, that shattered hollow formula just has a hold on me. me, I will forever love every shattered hollow that I have. But this one for some reason just felt extra sparkly. It was perfect for St. Patrick's Day. That's the time of year when I wore it. But I could see myself pulling out Rock of Sages around the holidays, in the fall, maybe any time of year, because I love it. Summer, for sure summer. This one was a PPU release, and I think I actually I swatched it for Lucy, but then pulled it out to rewear it, and it just hit me different this time. I think when it initially released, I wasn't an all-out green lover. Now I know myself, and I know I love greens, so it made me so happy to have this on my nails. From ILNP this fall, I wore Diablo. This one is a rich, saturated, vampy, brown-leaning red, loaded with scattered holographic pigment. So I've talked about this kind of recently. I love this one. I was like on the fence about getting it for years. I seriously think it's been in my ILNP cart for maybe 2 or 3 years. Ever since I made my first purchase with that brand, I wanted to get this one because it's one of their top reviewed polishes. But I didn't. I don't know why. I love this finish from the brand. I just figured, you know, I've got other vampy things. Honestly, I don't always reach for the dark and vampy colors. I just don't feel like I have enough time to wear fall polishes in general. Like between Halloween and the holidays, I just don't get to them. So I think that made me not want to grab this one, but I finally found it in a D-stash and got it on my nails as soon as I could, and it's amazing. It just also had so much depth and dimension. I felt like it was, I don't know, they felt like glitters, I think. Like, you know when you have a holographic glitter polish, how it feels like three-dimensional, and it just has a lot of impact. This polish doesn't have glitter. It's just holographic scattered hollow pigment, but it felt like that level of sparkle. But I truly enjoyed wearing this. It was very vampy, and I should have gotten it 2 or 3 years ago. Next we have Assert Colors. I loved wearing Pyro this year. This one is a neon reddish orange. So when this initially released, I want to say I skipped it, or maybe I thought I checked out with it and then forgot to actually check out. Regardless, I came across it on Beyond Polish maybe. Sometimes they carry some of the older Vice colors at least a year out after they're no longer available on the Cirque site. This color is so intensely beautiful. I find neons personally a little intimidating. I have some, you know, and many of them I've purchased, and I just don't reach for them because I just feel like they're really loud, and that's just not very much my vibe. But this one was one of those attention-grabbing polishes, and people kept commenting on it. Wow, those are some really bright nails. And I was like, yes, they are. I just felt so comfortable and good and at home in this color. And it had a fabulous formula, fully opaque in 2 coats. I loved Pyro. I'd buy a backup if I could. Another favorite of so many that I finally got on my nails this year is Cadillacquer Parade. This one actually has a base that's not too far off from Pyro. It's just a little bit darker, but it's a super bright orange leaning red with blue micro glitters and hex glitters, and they are matte. There is a reason why this has come back in PPU at least once, maybe twice, and why so many people adore it. The formula for this was immaculate. It was beautiful. This is the first Cadillacquer that I've tried. I've had a few come in and out of my collections, never a glitter crowley, and I think that's probably what they do best, although I know their thermals are very loved too. I've never tried one of their glitter crowleys before, and I am determined to get more in my collection. The combination of the base color and the glitter is very unique. It is super squishy. The application was beautiful, fully opaque in 2 to 3 coats. And once again, it just had that perfect pond effect where you could see the layers of glitter, and it just made the polish feel super dimensional. This color I found to be really flattering on, and yeah, it was pretty much the perfect summer manicure. The next one comes from Starly, and it's called High Maintenance. I feel like in the bottle you're not seeing all the glory that is this polish. Those hollow glitters are really sticking to the sides, but this is a saturated, bright, kind of berry leaning pink packed with holographic silver glitters. I think I wore High Maintenance from Starly around Valentine's Day. It gave me all of the sparkle that my heart could want. Y'all know I love pink. I love hollow, and I'm not always the biggest fan of glitter in general, although I do feel like I've had a new appreciation for it this year. But this one was worth soaking it off. It was worth the time of putting on the glitter smoother. It just sparkled so much. And I felt like this base color was beautiful against my skin tone. So rich and dark enough, deep enough to be great in the winter time, but it's another one that's super versatile. I could see myself wearing this in summertime as well. And again, I have a lot of Starlies, but I feel like I have a lot of Starly Shimmer, Hollow, and Creams. I don't have many of their hollow glitters, so if you have other recommendations for what I should get from Starly, let me know. The next one is a Wildflower Lacquer. I wore and loved Anthophile 2.0. This one has a purple leaning blue base, and it is packed with shimmer that shifts purple to gold to green to blue. Is there hollow in here? There is. It's linear hollow pigment. This is one that when it re-released this year, I didn't remember it releasing initially. Like it. Usually you hear these polishes that get requested to re-release talked about so much that they are on your radar even if you don't have them in your collection. Well, this one I don't remember it initially releasing. I don't remember people talking about it, but I am so glad it came back. The base color is super saturated and pigmented. The shifting shimmer is amazing. I just love a Wildflower Lacquer shifting shimmer. They're incredible. And I think the linear hollow, although I am a scattered, flaky, hollow person, I think the linear hollow was a great choice with this. It just feels very cohesive in the shimmery base. Yeah, I was, as usual, really into the bold colors this year. My favorite season for polish are summertime. That's why you're seeing so many bright colors on this list. But yeah, this one just fit right in with all of those beautiful summer manicures. It was one I couldn't take my eyes off of. And Wildflower Lacquer, also, side note, lasts so well on me. Every time I put one of their shades on, I can get at least 4 days without a chip, sometimes 5. From Pahlish, we have There's No Place Like Home. This one is an incredibly glowy red. It's like a fire truck red, and it's got large particle shimmer that shifts red to copper to gold and maybe green at extreme angles. So this polish was another one that just had such a perfect jelly formula. It was so squishy on the nails. It did take 3 coats to build up to full opacity, but I think I was a little bit on the fence about grabbing this one. And I ended up going for it, and I'm so glad. It was so beautiful. Definitely reminiscent of Dorothy's red slippers, and just so shifty. I'm sad that so many of these are limited edition shades. If any of them are still available, I will link them down below, but like, yeah, this one was a PPU shade. Quite a few of these were PPU shades or just limited edition on the maker's sites. And this is one that, again, I shouldn't buy backups, but I would consider buying a backup for because it's just so glowy. If you have this one and you haven't worn it yet, get it out. You're welcome. And the last standalone polish before we get into combos and toppers and Skittles comes from KBShimmer, and it's called Patch Things Up. This one has an incredibly vibrant pumpkin orange base with large particle shimmer that shifts copper to gold to green to blue. And because of that shift to blue at certain angles, it kind of takes on like a corally kind of quality in the base. It is very interesting. So out of this whole collection, when I got it in PR, this was the first one I put on because I just couldn't wait. And I left it on for a solid 3 days, even though I had lots more swatching to do, because I couldn't take it off, and I got so many compliments. The base color is perfect for fall, also would be beautiful in the summertime because I think that's when I ended up swatching it, like late summer. And the shimmer is, it's amazing. It's just packed in the polish, and because the base is kind of on the jelly side, depending on your lighting, it just takes over the polish. Like sometimes it looks like a like blue or green or gold polish because the shifts are just so intense. I was just such a big fan of large particle shimmer this year. Past years, I think I said I don't like large particle shimmer. This year was all about, oops. This one was all about that for me. Yeah, this one was amazing. All right, and the rest are combos, toppers with bases, or Skittles. The first one that I wore combines KBShimmer straight to the Pint. That one has a really soft, light pink base and hex glitters that are matte, that are pink, blue, and purple. There are micro glitters and then hex glitters too. And then I paired that one with Emily DeMolly Dear Diary. This one is a blue toned, super saturated bright pink, and it's got shimmer that shifts blue to purple to pink. This was a match made in heaven. I could have worn either of these polishes on their own. They would have been stunning, but together, they were Barbie to me. This is what I envision when I envision Barbie. Both of these polishes had a fabulous formula. I love a KBShimmer Glitter Crelly. They are just perfect. I liked how the shimmer in the Emily DeMolly shifted the colors that were the glitters in the KBShimmer. Like the KBShimmer has glitters that are pink, blue, and purple. The Emily DeMolly had a pink base, but also shifted purple, blue, and pink. It's like they were made for each other. The Emily DeMolly had an amazing formula too. If you're a big pink lover, you won't regret getting this one. So yeah, excellent combination, winning for sure. While we're talking about KBShimmer, because they did pop up a lot this year with my manicures, I combined Orly's It's Brittany Beach with KBShimmer A Star Is Formed. It's Brittany Beach is an iconic, bright, but dark cobalt blue. And then KBShimmer A Star Is Formed is just my absolute favorite scattered hollow topper. I think I just really like how this blue looks on me. Can you tell? It's a great color. It's iconic. People love It's Brittany Beach for a reason. It had a beautiful formula, but yeah, I just find this color super flattering. And I paired it with my favorite scattered hollow topper, KBShimmer A Star Is Formed. This topper looks good over anything, but especially bright creams. I'm finding myself doing that a lot, pairing this with any bright cream, and I love it. It's instant love every single time. And then the final KBShimmer that I love this year, there were so many, was paired with an OPI. The OPI is called Engagement To Be, and then I topped it or sandwiched it with KBShimmer Take It or Leave It. Engagement To Be from OPI is a sheer warm gray jelly, crelly I guess, crelly. And then KBShimmer Take It or Leave It is a shifty flaky topper that shifts red to copper to gold to green, blue at extreme angles, and yeah, it's perfect for fall. So I kind of put this on a whim. A friend, Carolina from Gotta Love Polish, wore something remotely similar to this, and I wanted to recreate it. And I love this Take It or Leave It topper. It's not the first time I've worn it. I've worn it many times. KBShimmer makes some wonderful toppers. But anyway, I wanted to recreate it. I didn't have the polishes that she used, and I hadn't worn this OPI before. I love it. It's so perfect for fall and winter because it gives your nails a wash of color. It gets rid of the staining, or it doesn't get rid of it, but it conceals it well when you build it up for 2 or 3 coats, which makes it the perfect base for a simple glitter or flaky topper. And we'll see that look recreated again in a little bit in another manicure. But I've just really been liking that look, just a wash of sheer jelly color, something neutral on the nails, and then layering it with a beautiful topper to let that topper shine. And this was a winning combo. I just felt like the coolness, well, it's a warm tone of gray, but the cool gray base against the shifting autumn like flakies, just they complemented each other so well. The base made the flakies pop even more. It was kind of reminiscent of like a beautiful fall day, like the leaves are changing colors and the sky is kind of overcast. That's what this combo reminded me of. I loved it. 6 more. This one combines some pink shades. I wore Static Nails Unforgettable, which is a beautiful purple leaning pink cream with Ethereal Lacquer Moon Kingdom. Moon Kingdom has a similar pink base, but it is super duper sheer, and it's got shimmer that shifts green to gold to blue. So I was really wanting to wear Moon Kingdom from Ethereal Lacquer, but I know Ethereal, and it was not going to build up to opacity on its own. I was going to be able to see my staining through this polish, and I knew I would not like that. So I paired it with something similar, and I thought these were magic together. I really like how Unforgettable looked against my skin tone. It's just the perfect like flowery, summery, springy pink shade, and the fact that the Ethereal has such a similar base color, and mainly you see in most lighting that gold shift. It really satisfied my desire that went on pretty much all year for the perfect pink polish with a gold shift. Now I still have a few of those in a singular polish that I'm waiting to try. I'll find it eventually, but this it ticked that box. It was very satisfying for me. The Ethereal just shifted to so many beautiful colors. They do these kind of super sheer shifty shades so well, and the Static Nails had a great formula. They always do. Another base and topper combo that I loved combines Sally Hansen Insta Dry Peeps Fruit Punch, which is a bright, vibrant kind of coral. And I topped it with Wildflower Lacquer Fish Upon a Star 2.0. This one has a clear base and shimmer that shifts red to copper to gold to green, and it's kind of iridescent, and then it's also got hollow flakes. So I was just loving a gold shimmer all year. So many of my favorite manicures each month featured a gorgeous gold shimmer, and the gold shimmer against this bright corally base was so fun. I think you could get something similar though if you don't have these polishes. Like once I got this Peeps Fruit Punch shade, I realized I've got this 5 or 6 times over. And then this one just shifts red to copper to gold to green. I feel like that shift is pretty similar to a lot of shifty shimmers. This one's beautiful though. This Wildflower is spectacular, especially since it has the hollow flakes anyway. But what I'm saying is you could totally combine and create this kind of manicure without having these specific polishes. And some of these, like especially like the flakies, I feel like are so super unique. It would be really hard to create that look again. But these combo polishes, the topper and the base, a lot of them I love so much because they inspire me to play around with my toppers more and see what other beautiful looks I can create. But anyway, this was a really pretty combination. Honestly, this topper would look amazing over anything, but I don't typically think of adding these shifty toppers to something that's brighter. Usually I think of adding them to deeper colors. So I'm glad I played around with this, and I'm going to do it more in the future. All right, I can't find the Bee's Knees lacquer that goes with this, but the next combo combined 2 polishes, Orly's Plastic Jungle with Bee's Knees Lacquer Magic is Life. Plastic Jungle is so hard to describe, and I'm sure it's not picking up accurately on camera. It is a very bright, saturated, cool toned green. It's unlike anything I've ever seen. It's amazing. And then Magic is Life is a much softer, sheer, seafoamy kind of green jelly base with shimmer that's large particle that shifts gold and green and red and copper. It's very beautiful. So I actually almost destashed Magic is Life. It was in my destash pile, and then when I was going through my destash polishes, I came across it and said, no way, I'm not giving this up. I think I didn't like it because last time I tried wearing it as a standalone polish and I saw all my staining and my nail line and I just wasn't about it, but I knew that I could layer it with something else and make magic. I'm so cheesy, I'm sorry y'all. But anyway, I know some amazing things happened when I combined the Orly with the Bee's Knees lacquer. It was incredible. The large particle shifting shimmer strikes again. Just the Bee's Knees lacquer layered over this fantastic base, which by the way, if you don't have Orly's Plastic Jungle, you do need it. I held off on getting it for a few years after it released and finally got it, and even as someone who doesn't always love green and doesn't love every green and certainly doesn't love all the bright, super bright greens, this one is remarkable and unlike anything I've ever seen. I think I could have worn it on its own and been perfectly happy, but with the Bee's Knees lacquer, it was magic. I'm sorry, I did it again. 3 more. The next one combines China Glaze Sugar Junkie, which is a very vibrant, bold, purpley pink, with DRK Nails Sera. This one is a clear base with shimmer that shifts blue to purple to pink. It's so glowy and it's got scattered hollow. So I think I wore China Glaze Sugar Junkie on its own for 3 days, which I never do. I just don't wear creams very often on their own, but I have been way pressed for time this year with the baby, and sometimes I don't have as much time to change my nails as I usually have in the past. So anyway, I wore the China Glaze for several days on its own with no chips. It looked wonderful. I actually loved it so much I wanted to add something to it instead of change it out, and so I added the DRK Nails Sera topper. I've actually used this topper a couple times this year. That's how much I love it. But the glow this created over the China Glaze was, it was amazing. Just the purple to blue shift over this bright pink, the combination, it was just, I got lots and lots of compliments when I wore this. And then the hollow on top of that, this was perfect. I would consider recreating this manicure exactly in the future. It was that good. And then the last 2 are so super recent. I don't think I have posted my video for what I wore in December, but I'm glad I held off on doing this favorites video because they're 2 of my favorite manicures from the entire year, and both were worn in December. The first one is a combo. I wore Wildflower Lacquer, Perhaps a Christmas Gourd, and paired it with Frog and Toad from Wildflower Lacquer as well. Perhaps a Christmas Gourd is a vampy, rich, super saturated red, and it's got shifting shimmer that shifts red to copper to gold. However, it stays looking red with those kind of fall-y shifts. It still looks super squishy, juicy red. And then Wildflower Lacquer Frog and Toad has a green base. It's a really dark vampy green and shifts to blue, shimmer that shifts green to blue, and then I see purple at extreme angles. And I forgot to include that I paired those 2 beautiful wildflowers with this one from by Danny Viana called Together in Paris. It is a beautiful gold glitter polish with shifting multi-chrome flakes. They shift green to blue, and it's got lots of holographic glitter. These 2 polishes were made for each other. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Taylor, the maker, said that Frog and Toad was the green version of Perhaps a Christmas Gourd. So I had to wear them together for the holidays. The shifts were incredible in both, but what really got me was the level of saturation in both shades. They just had a rich, vampy, luxurious quality to them. And I can say that about a lot of Wildflower Lacquer. Their shimmers just, to me, are top notch. Because a lot of brands that do shifty shimmers tend to make the bases a little bit more jelly-like so that the shimmers pop. Wildflower Lacquers are always so saturated that they will stain the heck out of your nails. But you will still see the shimmer because there's just so much in there. I don't see how Taylor does it, but I love it, and this manicure, these polishes together, were a game changer. They might become an annual wear for me every year around the holidays. Like these 2 with KBShimmer Baking Spirits Bright, that's going to happen. And the last manicure that I wore and absolutely loved was a Skittle, and it combined 4 polishes. I wore Calor's to Carol Elf Magic. This one is a warm, kind of like caramelly colored jelly brown base with gold holographic micro glitter. I also wore Sassy Pants Polish Lady Helen. This one's almost like an antique yellow leaning gold with holographic micro glitter, some iridescent flakies I think too, and maybe some gold to green shimmer. And then on one nail I combined OPI, Put It in Neutral, with Noodles Nail Polish All the Jingle Ladies. Put It in Neutral is just a wonderful neutral jelly polish. It's kind of like Engagement To Be, but not gray. It's a lot less peachy than Bubble Bath. And then All the Jingle Ladies is a clear base. It's a topper. It's got gold and green and red flakies, but it also has red and gold and green holographic hex glitters and micro glitters. This combination the whole manicure was everything. I think I wore it for 4 days, didn't want to take it off. It just made me think of like, it just felt cozy and classy and festive all at the same time. Like usually with my holiday manicures and I'm looking at them on my desk, I just want flashy and festive, and I love that. But this was just a different feel. Something about this was very elegant and like cozy. It just made me want a hot cup of cocoa next to the fireplace with like a faux fur blanket and just, oh, I've got money. That makes no sense. But whenever I looked at my nails, I felt really fancy. And I will definitely be putting OPI, put it neutral under any glitter or flaky topper that I want to just shine, because it's, for me, I think, the perfect nude color for me for this kind of purpose. Like I have a lot of sheer neutrals that build up to full opacity. I have quite a few from OPI, quite a few from Essie, one at least from Static Nails, and some other brands too, Zoya. But a lot of them lean to pink or to brown, or in Engagement To Be's case, to gray, although in that case that's what I was going for. But this one just let this topper shine because it looked like my nail color. It totally canceled out all of my staining, and yeah, it was perfect in this manicure. I actually wasn't completely in love with these two polishes, the Sassy Pants Lady Helene or Colorist Carol Elf Magic, but when they were all combined, it just worked. So those were my favorite manicures that I wore in 2023. Do you have any of these polishes? Have you worn them? Let me know down in the comments what stood out for you, and let me know what your favorite manicures were this year. Don't forget that this is a collaboration video, so down in the description box you'll find links to the channels of all of the participants. I'll also link down there any of these polishes that are still currently available. I hope you enjoyed this video, and it was a great way to kind of say goodbye to 2023 and inspire you to wear beautiful manis in 2024. Hopefully your new year is off to a fantastic start, and I will see you next time. Bye!